Hi, and welcome to Make Space for the Good Stuff, a 10-day decluttering program. My name is Christine Cook, and I'm the owner of Positive Energy Fitness and Health. And I'm a holistic health coach that helps people see how their lifestyle choices can really help improve their health. So I'm going to share today all of the reasons why decluttering is actually a health issue and how decluttering can really help you to feel your very best. I'm going to share my screen right now and get going. Alrighty. So our program, again, Make Space for the Good Stuff. It's all going to start on Friday, March 15th and run for 10 days right through to the 24th. Maybe you have tried decluttering in the past. Maybe you try to do a little spring cleaning every spring. And maybe you've had some success, or maybe it's just been a total bust. Well, what's going to make this one different? A lot of support. I'm going to offer support in lots of different ways. One of the ways is a private Facebook group. If you are on Facebook, I highly encourage you to hop on here. I'm going to be adding lots of extra information, articles, pictures, inspiration. I'm also going to be asking for some accountability here. Show up. Give me some pictures. Let's see, did you really do the challenge? And this is going to help make the most of this 10 days. If you are on Facebook, please consider joining me. If you're not on Facebook, don't worry. I'm going to be sending out an email every day that will give you, again, inspiration and information to help you move forward. And we can communicate through email if I'm asking for some pictures or some information or some proof that you've done the challenge. So Facebook, if you are on it. If you're not, you do not have to be. I will catch you through email. I've even brought on a professional organizer. Her name is Abby Hardiman. She works out of the Seacoast in New Hampshire, and she owns the company Abstract Assistant. And Abby is so fun to work with. She is a great source of information about decluttering. She is going to be a big part of our Facebook group. She's going to be chiming in with advice and some videos and information for you. So please welcome Abby. Use her, ask her questions, and let her be part of your experience. So why would a health coach value decluttering? Why do you think I am thinking that this is an important aspect? When I work with my clients one-on-one, in a small group, at a workplace, or in a situation like this online, people as a whole. So that's the whole. I want to think about how people, what's going on in their life that is making them feel the way they do. Oftentimes people come to me because they're not feeling their very best. So I don't want to just focus on what it is that's not feeling the very best. I want to figure out, perhaps, can we come up with the very best? And clutter has turned out to be an important aspect for several of my clients. One client in particular is to mind who is having real problem with digestive issues. And I'm not going to say that decluttering solved her digestive issues entirely, but it absolutely was an aspect of her stomach issues, which was caused by some anxiety, which was caused by some decluttering and some sleep issues and a few other things. All of these different aspects were adding to this. So I've seen time and time again how decluttering can help people, and I'm really hoping that you get to experience the great benefits as well. There are lots of reasons why I value this, and I'm going to share some of the research and some of the information that I think will be really motivating to you and really inspiring to help you get going on this in most of these next few days. So your concentration and your productivity can improve dramatically if you have space that you're working that is not filled with clutter. So just like multitasking, we've learned doesn't do a great job with your brain because your brain really can't multitask even though you think you can. Clutter overloads our senses, and it makes us feel stressed. It makes us feel a little irritable, and it inhibits our ability to really think totally creatively. So they had some neuroscientists in Princeton, and they had some people do a task in a messy setting that was lots of clutter, lots going on, and they had people do the same task in a neater setting. And they switched them and had a task, and they saw how they performed in terms of their ability to concentrate and their ability to get the task done, so their productivity. And surprise, surprise, those that were in a neater atmosphere were able to focus better, felt less stressed in that setting, were more creative in their problem solving, and were able to get the task done much more quickly than those in a messy or cluttered setting. Basically, the decluttered setting turned people into, once they got rid of let me share this here. Basically, what they found was that, and this is very scientific here, the multiple stimuli present in the visual field at the same time compete for neural representation by mutually suppressing their evoked activity throughout the visual cortex, providing a neural correlation for the limited processing capacity of the visual system. In other words, the clutter just made their brain focus on other things. It was incredibly distracting to them. Their senses could not handle all of that. And when they were in that neater setting, that decluttered setting, they basically became productivity machines. They could get the task done easily and quickly. Looking at a cluttered space, it fills up the space that could leave room for creative thinking and problem solving. So when that clutter is cleared out, the research has found that it really helps to create that space that helps people to be creative and be productive and be problem solving. And when that clutter was there, it was really hard for all of that to happen. Brainstorming also increased dramatically when people had a clearer space to work in. So sleep. If you've worked with me at all or you know me at all, you know that I really value sleep in my clients and in my own personal life. I think it is one of the key components to feeling your very best, and I think it's the most undervalued component. So they have found that that has a lot of clutter in it. Your brain, whether you want it to or not, sometimes we don't have power about what our brains do. It's on. Your brain is on, and you cannot get the full restorative sleep that you need. We spend about a third of our time, of our lives, in our bedrooms. That's more than any other room in our homes. And we need to be creating a space that is designed to help us relax and help us make the most of the time that we are sleeping. When you have clutter, your brain is always thinking about ways to clean it, thinking about getting rid of it. The anxiety of the mess is going to leave it so that you don't get fully recharged and ready to start your next day. Now, keeping your bedroom neat and tidy is the goal, and not always totally realistic. I want everyone to picture their bedroom right now. Does it look like this? If it does, good for you. Mine, not entirely, but fairly close, I will say. I don't have a lot of clutter in my room because I have really believed that this research, that a decluttered space helps me to relax fully. So leaning into this, right? Maybe not this, but leaning into something a little bit more like this. Some people say, I have a messy bedroom and I sleep just fine. All right. How about this? How do you feel when you start your day? How do you feel when you get out of bed and you have to climb over the laundry that needs to be done, or shuffle through some papers on your nightstand to find something that you need? How does that feel? How does that start your day? I find that many people feel it starts their day in a way that they feel behind already. They feel that they're already, stressed out before they've even hopped in the shower. So considering how you sleep and how you start your day and what your room looks like is an important part of decluttering. Sleep. Sleep, people. I'm telling you, you can't value it enough, and decluttering will help benefit you and your sleep. It also helps to boost your mood. So clutter can make us feel a little cranky, and it's like a visual noise that's constantly there. And the research has shown that it also sends a signal to your body and to your brain that you just don't have it together, right? You just don't have it together. That's the message that your brain sees or feels when it feels and sees the clutter. And that's kind of a bummer, right? That's not a good way to be feeling. The Center of Family Studies, Everyday Lives and Families at UCLA did a study, and they had researchers go into homes and they had them count items in homes. And they found that those that had less items in their home had a lower level of stress. And those who had a high density of items, a lot of items, specifically the women in those homes, had a high level of cortisol. So we are in this mindset, especially in the United States, that more is more, that the more things you have, the better. And the reality of it is that less stuff can actually bring you more joy. Having less items can lower your cortisol. We all know that cortisol is that big stress hormone that can really lead to high levels of anxiety and high levels of stress. And stress after sleep, stress is the thing that I focus on the most with people, is because it's such a producer of illness and a contributing factor to some of the biggest diseases that people in the United States die of. So making sure that we're not in that mindset, the more we have, the better. The researchers at UCLA found the less items, the lower stress, the better mood that people were in. So again, lowering our stress level, because clutter, again, distracts us from focusing on our attention on what we should be focused on. It makes it more difficult for us to relax, sleep, which sleep is a critical piece of stress management. It makes us hard to de-stress and to relax physically, to be able to sleep, and mentally to be able to sleep and to relax. It is a signal that our work is never done. There's always something else to be doing. The physical view of clutter is making us think, oh, there's more, there's more, there's more. Never being able to fully relax. And it makes us anxious because we don't know what it's going to take to get to the bottom of that pile. What is it going to take to make us know that we are done with all of this? And there's also a piece of this, that there's a little bit of guilt, or maybe some shame or some embarrassment. And maybe you've experienced this too. Maybe when somebody stopped by unexpectedly, or stopped into your workplace or your workspace unexpectedly. Or in my case, this happened this week. Someone had to pop into my car unexpectedly. And it's winter here in New England, and my car is not looking good right now. I feel the need to clear it out when the weather is warmer, and in the winter it just starts to gather items. And so I was really embarrassed. I will say I was really embarrassed when this person popped into my car. And please don't open the glove compartment. So we're going to talk about car decluttering in just a moment. So it does help you to also move forward in your life. So when we're talking about clutter or decluttering, often we're talking about the excess of things, right? We've been talking about the excess of things so far. So that linen closet that's got all these towels and sheets that you never use anymore. That would be an example of an excess in clutter. But sometimes there's things that just have a heaviness to them and has very little to do with quantity and more of the quality or the heaviness of the item, the emotional attachment of the item. So if you, for instance, had a painting that was done by an ex of yours that's hanging over your bed or in your family room, that could have a lot of emotional weight to it. And getting rid of that item could really help you to move forward and get rid of that heaviness. It doesn't have to be a big item. It can even be some smaller items. So I had a client that had recently gone through a serious breakup, and we talked about decluttering, and she was going through a drawer, and she came upon just some trinkets that an old boyfriend had given her, this boyfriend that she had just broken up with, and she came across these trinkets, and they meant something to her at one time, but really nothing to her at this time, and actually felt heavy when she saw them. And it brought back memories that really she just didn't need to relive. So she chose to get rid of them, and was really surprised how great that made her feel. So looking around your surroundings, are there things that are feeling heavy? Whether it's a big painting or a small trinket, are there some things that could help you move forward and get rid of some of that heaviness in your life? And it doesn't always have to be a negative thing. I just recently moved from my home of 23 years. Lots of memories, lots of things, um, lots of tears. I'm not going to lie. It was not easy to get rid of some things and to go through some things. And there was a lot that I got rid of that I'm thinking, why did I hang on to this? It had such negative and heavy emotion to it, and it felt so good to get rid of it. We actually had a burning ceremony and got rid of a lot of things that just didn't need to move forward with us. But there were also some things that were really special and that were really meaningful because they were so special. And one of them was my wedding gown. And I had moved my wedding gown from 2 or 3 apartments to our first home, to our second home. I was going to now have to move it to storage while we were looking for our new home. Then I was going to move it to the new home. I didn't know where that new home was going to be, what the storage situation was going to be. Now I have 2 boys. No one's going to wear my wedding gown in my family. I also got married in 1991. Nobody's going to wear my wedding gown anyways. And it's not a small wedding gown. It is a fairly big wedding gown, and it took up some space and emotional space. So after much thinking and hemming and hawing, I decided it was time to move on and move forward and get rid of my wedding gown. I put it on one more time, took some pictures, had some laughs with my family, and then I brought it to a seamstress. And I said, I want you to make some pocket squares for my boys in case they would like to wear that on their wedding day. And I want you to take off, it's hard to see, but it has this beautiful lace on it. I'd like you to take off some of the lace, and perhaps someday one of my daughters-in-law might like to put that on the inside of her gown, or maybe a granddaughter might like to put it on the inside of her gown, just as a little piece of my beautiful and happy marriage to go on to theirs. Now, believe me, I'm telling this to the seamstress, bawling my eyes out, and she's taking my gown and she's saying, you're crying and you want me to chop up your gown. Thankfully, we've had some history together, so she knew me enough to just be like, yes, I do. I want you to do that. So anyway, so that's just an example of items that might be having some heaviness, or for positive or negative reasons, that it might be time to move on and move forward. Also, more time can appear if you are more organized and you have less clutter in your life. And I don't know about you, but I could use some more time, and I am quite sure you could too. Listen to this statistic. The average American loses 1 year of their, hold on, I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Yes, they spend 1 year of their life looking for things, looking for lost things. A year. That's a lot of time. So if things are organized and you don't have a lot of clutter, more time can appear. And if you're spending 15 minutes looking for your keys or searching through papers to try to find that exact paper, think about that time. Add that up in a week. What does that look like? So getting rid of some clutter can help some more time appear. You're not looking for the lost sock anymore. And honestly, there are not enough hours in the day for me to adequately express my angst at how there are not enough hours in the day. So how about that? How about making some more time appear? Decluttering can also help you reach your goals. Now, maybe this is you. Do you have a yoga mat in the corner of your room to remind you to stretch every night? Do you have some hand weights in your family room to remind you to get that going? Do you have a stack of jeans that are supposed to be motivating you to lose those extra pounds so you can fit back into them? If the answer is yes, I want you to ask, are these things actually motivating you? Have you used them recently, or do they have a layer of dust on them? Getting rid of those things can really help you reach your goals. And you think, what? I thought having them around was going to help me. Actually, having them around can bring you down. And it can have you thinking about what you haven't done and having you feel pretty lousy about yourself. It can end up being a bit of a talisman of your regret and your guilt. So thinking about those things that you think are helping motivate you, can you get rid of them if they're not serving you, and really focus on what really helps to motivate you. In addition, decluttering can help relationships improve. And if you look back at arguments that you might have had over this last week or month or so, chances are some of them have to do with clutter. They might have to do with, where are your boots? Where is your homework? I can't believe the mess in this kitchen. The laundry is out of control. Think about the things that maybe caused you some stress and caused some angst within your family members or people that you work with, even in any relationship in your home and or in your life, not just your home. And know that decluttering can help improve your relationships. So hopefully that gave you some inspiration to get going on these 10 days. And I'm going to tell you how all of this is going to work. It is a 10-day challenge. And you're going to be asked to commit to doing 10 minutes every day at a minimum of decluttering. 10 minutes minimum every single day. That's what you signed up for. That's what I'm going to be asking you for. You do have options though. You have an option to do one big project and spend 10 minutes each day decluttering. So maybe it's a project that's been hanging over your head for a while and you are just ready to see it go. Spend the 10 minutes every day to just chip away at that. Will you be done in the 10 days? Maybe, maybe not, but chances are it's going to help you motivate to continue even after the 10 days if it's a bigger project that needs more than 10 days. If you'd like, you can also or instead choose to do the Clutter Cutter Challenge each day. These are going to be smaller challenges that in essence or in theory could be done in about 10 minutes. Some may take longer. You can decide. It just depends on the state that you're starting with, right? So if you choose to do these 10-minute challenges or these smaller clutter cutter challenges versus the big project, maybe you're thinking you're not doing the big project, that would be more important. And I want to argue something, that doing these smaller pieces, these smaller challenges, can set up a domino effect. It can set up this, oh gosh, I open up this cabinet, this feels lovely. I open up this drawer, this feels great. I open up this feels so good. That will help motivate your decluttering to continue way past our 10 days. So again, it's totally a choice. If you've got a project that you're like, ooh, there's a 10-day decluttering, I'm gonna work on my garage. Do it and use those 10 minutes each day, or choose to do the Clutter Cutter Challenge. Now, how do you know if it's clutter? This is going to be our rule. Listen carefully. If you don't love it or use it, it's clutter. If you don't love it or use it, it's clutter. All right, I'm going to be asking you to go back to that time and time again. If you want, print that one out and post it. Actually, I think I'll make something so you can print it and post it. If you don't love it or use it, it's clutter. That's going to be our rule. Now, the Clutter Cutter Challenge of the day. Maybe you're someone who likes a surprise and you want every evening for that email to come and be like, oh, I wonder what the challenge is tomorrow. Fine. I want you to close your eyes for this next slide. If you're somebody who says, nope, I want to know what's coming up, give me the details, I want to know, I do want you to look at this next slide. If you're looking away, just know I'll call you back. So look away if you don't want to know, and take a peek if you do. These are the things we're going to be doing for each of the day. Now, I might ask you to look at this and say, huh, I want to take one of those and make that my big project. And I want to work on that for the 10 days. Feel free. It also depends on where this item's starting, right? Where are you starting with this? And, you know, I'm looking at Thursday, right? If you're looking at this and you think, oh my gosh, that really, I'm going to need more than 10 minutes, maybe that's your project for the whole 10 days. So please just take a look at this. These are going to be the daily challenges. These are going to be the things I'm going to be asking for proof to be able to win some prizes. I'll tell you about that in just a moment, but minimum of 10 minutes each day. These are the challenges. All right, if you were looking away, you can look back. I do want to share with you that our first day's Clutter Cutter Challenge is going to be to choose one dresser drawer, dump it out, and return only the things that you use or love, remembering that that's our rule. So think about which drawer you want to start with on our first day, that Friday. I want you to make it fun, and I'm going to try my best to help make it fun. I'm going to provide a playlist, but you make your own playlist, something that makes it fun for you. I think music's a great motivator. And maybe you're motivated by prizes. If you are, I've got some for you. I'm going to be raffling off 2 the Container Store gift certificates, 2 $25 gift certificates. And in addition, Abby has offered 2 30-minute phone consults for participants. So 30 minutes to talk to Abby about a project or a struggle that you're having, or to ask her, hey, I really want to focus on my closet. What are your top closet organizing items that you recommend that I might want to get to get this going? However you want to use your time with Abby, it's 30 minutes. I promise you it'll be super fun. She's just a blast. So how do you win these prizes? Well, you got to be in it to win it. You have to participate. So there's ways to win. We are going to have our private Facebook group. If you are on Facebook, please join us. 2019, Make Space for the Good Stuff. Ask to join and I will say yes. If you post, so I might say, hey, tomorrow is our take one drawer, dump it and straighten it. I want you to do a picture before and after, post it, show us what you got. If you do that, you'll get to put in a raffle ticket. There might be some things I'll say you'll earn 2 raffle tickets if you do. So please be a part of that. If you share an article that you think would be really helpful to our participants, you'll get a raffle ticket for that. If you're really encouraging to other participants, I will also put in raffles for that because it's all about being a team and working together for this common goal. Now, if you are not on Facebook, please know you still can win. You are going to email me your proof. So if I ask for people to post things on Facebook, I want you to email me those items. My email, Christine with a C, at positive-energy.co, and you will be entered to win as well. So just know, if you're not on Facebook, you are still in it and you still are going to be held accountable to this challenge. Steps to take now, if you do want to get that daily email that's going to talk about the Clutter Cutter Challenge, going to give you some tips about decluttering, going to give you some inspiration, maybe make you laugh. If I can find some funny memes, I will absolutely put those in there. If you want that email, you need to register. I'm not going to be sending this out to my list. I want you to register so that it is very specific about who is going to be a part of this. Chances are you already have if you're seeing this. Just know that that email will come to you. Sign up for our Facebook group, 2019 Make Space for the Good Stuff. I've already told you why. And consider seeing if there are some others that might want to join you. Maybe it could be someone from across the country because this is an online program. You can ask your daughter who's in college in Ohio to join you. You can ask your brother who lives in San Francisco to join you. You can ask your college roommate who lives in another country to join you. Everyone can participate because it's online. I also would encourage you to get your workplace involved. It's fun as a free workplace wellness event. Get your workplace involved, see if they would like to participate. Everybody can be talking about it and seeing what's exciting and what are you doing, what are you getting rid of, and maybe even sharing some things that you are getting rid of because one person's junk is another person's treasure. Just make sure it's your treasure. Don't just take it. Do you love it? Will you use it? I love this, and I'm going to end our discussion today with this, that what I know for sure is that when you declutter, whether it's on your home, your head, or your heart, it is astounding what will flow into that space that will enrich you, your life, and your family. This is by Peter Walsh, a very famous decluttering expert. I'm sure you may have heard of him before, but love that thought, right? It's astonishing what will flow into that space. I think it's going to help to make space for so much good stuff if you participate in this program fully and wholeheartedly. And I hope you do. So that is all I have to share with you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me either on the Facebook page or through email, and I would be happy to help you make the most of this program. And I really thank you for being a part of it. Thanks, everyone. I will see you around in these 10 days.